some real heavy hitters. What you mean they're not gonna sell? And sure enough, in 2024, I found a book that I had to sell in 2016 on the shelf.
That boggles my mind.
Yeah,
That boggles my mind because what y'all doing? Not the people in the chat, but it's like what are people doing? You know, it's only so many times you can go to the bar. There's only so many times you can drink. There's only so many times that you can go out to eat. There's only so much TV you can watch. What else are y'all doing?
right. What else? And for me, it's reading. Now, I said that I was going to replenish my bookshelves with Black romance at the beginning of this year. I started off with 4 books, only for the week. Um, this time it's love. Um, and there's 2 other books that I had. One was by Kay Shani, one was by uh, Takara Martin. Then there was another book I can't remember, and then Natasha Bishop. It was those 4 sitting on my shelf at the beginning of this year. I had no Black romance physical books. Now I'm sitting at over 300 Black books by Black authors.
Girl, if you see my
Sitting at
books,
over.
if you see the foolishness that's on the right side of me,
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
no.
But I wanted to make sure. But for me, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that I constantly saw Black love in my room. I wanted to wake up to Black love. Like this is my bedroom. My romance books are in my bedroom. My nonfiction books and my history books are in my office. When I wake up every morning, I get to see Black love. When I wake up every morning, I get to see my husband. That is what I want to be surrounded by in my space. And I want it to be soft and I want it to be gentle and I want it to feel like I get to have all these love stories all the time because
That's beautiful.
I had to let them go.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I am I've been collecting books since the 90s. So my favorite author of all times, and I don't know how I got started with this lady. It might have been my sister-in-law, my ex sister-in-law. I mean, she's my sister-in-law to me. But I started out with Frances Ray. When I tell you I have every Frances Ray book known to man, I have Frances Ray, Rochelle Allers. I have like a whole. It's like it's deep, 3 books back, and they're up and down, on one on top of each other. Damn ridiculous. But
So it's interesting that you talk about Frances Ray, and I gotta figure out which book it was by Frances Ray that I read very early on because Frances Ray had a book that it was on my list of books that I had to sell, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. I can't. But if I come across it, the cover, I know it when I see it. It's a blue cover. You see the back of you see a man's back and a woman in the bedroom in the background. And I can't remember what it's called, but I remember reading Frances Ray. I can't remember the name of the book though, but
I probably got it on my shelf. I
you
promise
probably
you.
do. You probably do.
And then Rochelle Allers and Brenda Jackson. Remember those? Remember the books? Do I have any in here? Hold on. I might have 1 or 2 right here.
So who was your introduction? Who was your introduction to Black reading?
Mine was my introduction to Black reading. I don't remember the first book I've ever read that was Black. But I started buying these books. So this is Simone Taylor, Felicia Mason. This is probably my introduction to Black reading.
Okay. Okay.
Courtney Wright, Ebony Snow, Gwen Forster. But
Okay.
I remember my favorite being Frances Ray.
Okay.
She might have been probably one of my first. I used to get those book boxes. My second introduction to the trap
Oh.
was Fly Girl.
Okay. So wait, hold on. Pause. Fly Girl was my introduction to Black reading.
Really?
That was my. I was in eighth grade. I was in the eighth grade when I first read Fly Girl. It was my coming of age story.
Really?
Yeah,
And
that
see,
was
there's a lot of people who read what's her name? Sister Soldier. I that was not that was not my introduction.
that wasn't my introduction. Fly Girl was my introduction. I read it to the point that the pages wore off on the book and the spine just came across. I just kept reading it and kept reading it and kept reading it. I was like, that if I could ever tell you a book that I have read and reread, it is Fly Girl. I have read that book so many times. Now, my introduction to the trap, because Fly Girl is not the trap. My introduction to the trap was Terry Woods.
Yeah.
Terry
Yeah.
Woods.
Yeah.
Baby. This Terry. And then after I got out of Terry Woods, I got into Zane. And I talked about it on my page already, but y'all know I went to Catholic school from middle school to high school, and we almost got in trouble. Some of my classmates was watching my video and was laughing because we were passing it around like it was the last hit. Baby, we were passing around Zane books, and them nuns came in there and was like, "What is this filth? If we catch you reading it again, you will be put out." Baby, we were lined up. We were lined up about to get put out of school over Zane. Do you hear me?
Wow.
Over Zane.
And see, I was young. I was a young. I was in my 20s when Zane came out, so I didn't get in trouble. But I just want you to see this is probably my introductory. Y'all, we listen and we don't judge. Don't judge. Don't judge bookshelf number one. So this is my book space. So we have some Elin Harris, we have Zane, we have Travis Hunter, Eric Jerome Dickey, Mary Monroe, which was my one of my favorites. Mary B. Morrison. Excuse me, because I'd have been to Mardi Gras several times. I had to keep my mask.
I know that's all right.
These listen, I've been reading a long time, and I'm not going to show you the graph. Oh, I will. I will. These are new books, y'all.
That's okay.
I have nowhere to put them.
Yes, you do. Let me tell you where you put them. Hold your camera against that wall behind you.
Oh, I have a bookshelf coming right here.
You don't have to, but guess what? You still got more space because guess what? Look up here. You see this?
Yes.
We listen and we don't judge. We buy a floating bookshelf.
I just want y'all to see the foolishness and the mayhem. I got book boxes everywhere. Huh?
Book boxes. I don't, outside of Demon's Dream, I don't think I can do another book box. I got enough stuff.
Well, I had to get Ebony's book box.
Oh, I got that one too. That's what I'm saying. Now she got with another book box. I don't know what to tell her unless she come out with a big series.
I'm just saying. The life and the foolishness of a reader. When I tell you I am a for real avid reader, I've been reading a long time.
Listen, I get it. I have too. And the crazy thing, and I'll go back to that story about me having to sell my books. The crazy thing about that is I'm a Katrina kid. I was a senior in high school when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. When I tell you we lost everything and the things that survived, I was in the process of moving. My books were in plastic totes.
Wow.
My books survived Hurricane Katrina.
What?
Yep. My books.
What?
That's why I was just like, when I found my book in the store, I couldn't bring it back. I couldn't buy it back. I love my books. I love my books.
I'm stumped. I am, girl, you got me floored. Let me close my mouth.
No, no, we gotta get talking. She's mentioned content.
Mm-mm, let me close my mouth because I don't want no flies flying in it. Because
Yeah,
that is wild.
I know. I was shocked too. We went back and I looked on the floor. You could see the water line of the bookshelf of the container on the outside of the container. And when you open it up, all the books were fine, no damage whatsoever. So I scrubbed the outside of the bucket and took them with me when we left.
You learn some new stuff every day.
Yeah,
How did that make you feel though when you saw it?
overwhelmed because I had lost pictures. I had like I people don't talk about the trauma of something like that as much as they should when you go through it. I literally cannot remember my junior year of high school because of that traumatic experience. So to see that I still have my books from when I was in the 8th grade survive something like that, it helped me remember moments as I reread those books, all of those things that I was able to go through. But I don't have pictures. I don't have a lot of pictures from my junior year. I don't have a lot of pictures from my sophomore year, my freshman year. Um, the only reason why I have pictures from when I was a small child is because underneath those books were my photo albums from when I was a kid. Yeah.
You
Yep.
never know what people never know where their story it comes from. You
Nope.
think everybody I think that people misconstrue you're happy for now, that they don't know that you had to go through all that to get to this.
Right. I tell people all the time, like my happiness, like I wake up happy and understanding that I have come to a place of being happy. Like I went to go see the couch lady this past week, and she was like, "Wait, I didn't have to coax you into saying that you're happy. You said that you're happy." I said, "Yeah, I am happy." It took me 7 years of therapy, 7 years of therapy to start recognizing what true happiness was, and a lot of years of work and overcoming went through that. So I have been doing the work consistently for 7 years, but it wasn't until the past year that I refound my love of reading that helped me through so much. I think Storm talks about how books have saved her life so many times. And my love of reading has saved my life so much. That's why I have such a connection to my books. Like people say things about like they get lost in certain things when it comes to these books, like errors and all this other stuff. I get lost in these stories because I understand what that meant for me growing up. Like my connection to these black love stories and being able to see myself and being able to connect with some of the authors who are telling stories. Like I wish I would have been able to connect with Zane and Nikki Turner and Omar Tyree the way that I can connect with M. Monique and Asia Monique and Aisha Bree and so many others. I wish I had that opportunity to tell them how their books changed my life in such a dark space. And so now that I have spent the past year enjoying my love of reading and being able to connect with authors in a way that I never have before, I feel like I can honor them by buying their books, by having them as trophies on my shelf, by getting lost between the stories that they take and pour their hearts and their souls into. Like, I love reading. I love reading. And my mom told me, she said, I don't care what you read as long as you read. It got so bad to the point that she tried to punish me that the only thing that she had left was my books. And she was like, I can't even punish you. She's like, I can't. She's like, because I never want you to stop reading. So,
Let
yeah.
me tell you my story how I fell in love with reading. So, and I've said this before, so people publicly know. I was in second grade, and my second grade teacher told my mother, no, third grade, I'm sorry. My third grade teacher told my mother that I could not read and she needed to figure it out. Not that she not the teacher, not that she didn't offer additional assistance to help me get up to a reading level. My mother found me a tutor and we started reading and she found stuff that I enjoyed. And my mother put me in speed reading classes. She put me in, she got me several different tutors. I would have to read to her at night before I went to bed, but she always found something interesting for me to read. It
Mhm.
wasn't the newspaper, it wasn't anything like that. It was always something interesting. So then she started buying me uh what's that? Judy Bloom, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
I
Oh, and I then started falling in love with reading. But I had often wondered why I don't ever see dark skinned girls and why I don't see this and why I don't see. I started questioning. And then life started happening. I became older. My mother used to ship us from California to Arkansas every summer. And my grandmother, she's on the farm. And uh, we did what we did. We was outside playing in the hay and with on the horses and all the stuff. And so I didn't have, we didn't take books and stuff with us. But it was one teacher, and I can't think of what her name was. She says, write a story. And I wrote her a story. She said, I can tell you've been reading.
Aw.
And I said, I'm 12, 13 years old. I was like, oh, thanks. And I didn't really think anything of it. And so then when I met my ex and I met his family, his oldest sister, she does a lot of reading. Like she read like 3, 4 books a day. She is an avid reader. And she was like, read this book, read this book. And that's how I started with Brenda Jackson and Terry McMillan and all the Frances Ray and all of them. She is the one that got me back into reading,
Mhm.
and I started exploring outside of those books, and that's how I am here today. That's exactly how I'm here today. Is that one teacher told my mama I couldn't read, and my mother went into action. She was not playing. So that's my story, y'all. Um, while she's away, what got you guys into reading? Oh, there you go. What book got you guys into reading? If you can in the chat, Walter Mosley.
It's interesting you said that about your story. My brother got into reading through Sports Illustrated.
You better say it. Reading is reading.
My mom said they kept coming to her saying that he couldn't read, and she was like, he keep looking at half naked women. Let me go get him Sports Illustrated. So he learned how to read through that. Next thing you know, he reading thick books, not erotica or anything like that, but he started in Sports Illustrated and started getting into philosophy and theology and all kinds of other stuff. He don't read fiction. He reads all nonfiction now. But they said that he'll never be able to read because of the way he was.
But that's the stigma they put on us. They
Oh
don't
yeah.
want us to read. They want us to be stupid. So
Mhm.
then they can control what we intake.
Oh yes.
Um, anywho, uh, how do you get your children involved in reading? Because for me, my daughter was easy. She just likes to read. My son, I started him out with putting letters on a poster board, and every time he would run past it, would show me this. Every time he would run past something, show me that. One, two, three, four, five, six, the colors and whatever. So by the time he was 2, I would put sight words. After he mastered the ABCs, I put sight words, the, and, could, all those words. And I would put him on the door, and every time he would run past it, show me the, show me this, show me and, show me could. And one day he was about 2.5,
Mm-hmm.
and he just talking. I was like, "What are you talking about, Nicholas?" Because he's a junior. I'm sorry. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "That right there." He's pointing to the billboards. This baby is reading the billboards.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I taught my son to read.
I love
That's
that.
exactly how I taught him to read. And I would just encourage him because I would buy things that I knew that he liked. How did you get your kids reading?
So I have two kids. One's 10 and one's 4. So with the 10-year-old, we started off with books. So he started learning how to read through Blippi. Well, Blippi kept reiterating his name is Blippi. And he started picking up words based off of the way that Blippi spelled his name. It was, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. But then we started getting into Little Rabbit Foo Foo. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
So Little Rabbit Foo Foo was a funny story that when I used to teach preschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many jobs in life, just so you know. But when I taught preschoolers, we would start off with the song. So we would learn how to read through song because the books that we had were also songs. So there's also The Little Old Lady Who Swallowed the Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one?
Kind of. Sounds familiar.
So the morbid version is there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed that fly. Perhaps she'll die. The other version is she won't say why. So we would sing the song, but we found that they had the books. And so we would go through the books singing the song.
Wow.
So that's how I taught my oldest. We then learned that he started having struggles with reading because he has dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been working with the school, and we have a really good school system out here. And he's getting to the point where next year he'll be graduating from that program because he's gotten so much better with his reading over the time.
Wow.
So I didn't know what to do. And I would say that a lot of what we did at home worked, but that's not the case. He had a lot of intervention, and I will encourage any parent out there whose child is having struggles reading to get intervention, because there's only so much I could do. There's only so much that my husband can do. He was really out here struggling, and he had dyslexia, and I don't have experience with that. So when you don't have experience, I always recommend people please get help where you don't have experience, and don't let your child suffer through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which leads me on to my second child, who's 4, who didn't start speaking until January of last year.
Oh no.
He has autism.
Okay.
So he did not start speaking until last year. And we would read to him, but we didn't know how to process him having autism. We didn't know how to process him recognizing words. We didn't process how he could write. We're still in that process with him. Now, he can form words. He still babbles. We're still in that process with him. Now, he can form words. He still babbles a little bit. We're getting him speech therapy. And I'm like, okay. So he'll go get his book off the shelf. We have tons of books for our kids, and all of them with representation. And we will read him, we'll read to him, but then we'll tell him, now you read the book. And he'll read it based off of the pictures. We'll see, what are the pictures telling you? What is the story telling you based off of what you see? And then we'll go from there and we'll read the story with him. But we're struggling. We can't do the same thing that we did with our oldest,
Mm-hmm.
the way that we did with our youngest.
Mm-hmm.
Because with our oldest, we saw him say things like, with the books of representation that we had, he would say, "Mommy, he looks just like me."
Mm-hmm.
And getting books with characters that look just like me, looks just like them, helped us so much with our oldest.
Right.
We're trying to introduce those same things with our youngest, and it's difficult. It's very difficult. So we have a lot of intervention with the ABA therapy for autism, and we have speech therapy, and we have occupational therapy, and we'll know more as he gets to kindergarten. So right now he can't read, but he wants to spell. He'll say, "I'll spell mommy, Moxtwz, mommy." I'm like, okay, letters. We
But
gonna
he got the first two letters.
you know, he started. He started somewhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's something that we are struggling with, but we're going through the motions with him, and we're getting the intervention. So the desire, like Denise said, the desire is there. We give them books with representation where they see themselves, so that they can say, "I'm reading about me." We even got books made with their names so that they can read the story about themselves and the adventures that they go on.
But I think the reason why they're so excited is because they see you reading. It
Yes.
starts with you sometimes, not you in particular, but if you want your kids to read,
Mm-hmm.
if they see your nose in the book, they wondering, well, why my mom always got a book in her hand? Let me see. That's how I
Yeah.
got my daughter into reading.
Well, yes.
Now I don't want to discuss the same books that we're both reading together because that's my child. That's weird.
Amen. Amen. I wish my son would come to me talking about something. He gonna read some Zane and come talk to me. Sir, don't talk to me today. Don't talk to me today.
But again, my daughter's she's a mother herself. She's 39. I know, but it's still weird. But I do recommend. She was like, "Mom, recommend me a book." I recommend the books. I said, "What you want?" "I want spicy. I want this." "Okay, just use your words, because don't be talking about you want nasty, because then I'm not interested." Just be gentle with me. Be still my heart, lady.
Listen.
But yeah, I think because I like to read, they picked that habit up.
Mm-hmm.
And my son, not so much, but my sister's into tech and he's into tech. So they have that thing. But again, sometimes he'd be like, "Oh, mom, um, such and such saw you online. They want you to recommend a book." So I picked out some videos for them to recommend because I thought that was interesting. Who are you?
Now, see, my youngest son likes what my oldest son likes. My oldest son loves science. He loves astrology. So that's why when Denise's son wrote his book, I purchased their book. And he was like, "Oh, this is so cool. I want to read it."
Oh,
My son is in the fifth grade, and
oh,
I want him to be able to read books where he still gets to see himself, even if they're in younger books.
mm-hmm.
But he loves to read about science. He loves science. He loves seeing black boys be scientists. It's his strongest subject. Like, he literally spent the past year struggling in reading, struggling in math, but science he excelled. That's how I was like, I know there ain't nothing wrong with my baby. He just don't like the rest of the stuff.
Exactly. It is probably the interest. It's
Yes.
you have to pique their interest. I we're not going to talk about it. We'll talk about something else. Okay. Question.
Yes.
Question. Question. Question.
Yes.
If you could invite 5 authors, dead or
Oh,
alive, to dinner, that's my favorite question. Who would it be?
and I'm cooking. Oh yes. Okay, so we're going to do all of my favorite authors now. We're gonna have to do my favorite authors now. I want to do M. Monique because I love her so much. Oh God, I love that lady. I want to do Gray Huffington. I'm definitely inviting Miss L. Kaysen, who I just met for the first time, and I swear it was like the warmest hug I've ever had. I just love her. I want to invite Casey Mills. And my last one is gonna be Meek Mills.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. So I cannot pick. I can pick, but my list changes every week. So this week, I want to laugh and I want to be thoroughly entertained because every time I talk to these ladies, I just crack all the way up. So I'm picking
I know.
Sharice Carr,
I was gonna
Triple
say
C.
Latoya Nicole is gonna be on there. I know she's gonna be on
Who?
there. Latoya Nicole.
No, she's not in on this one.
Okay, I was about to say because she gonna crack you up.
She is. So I'm picking Triple C because she have no sense either. But baby, I need her to bring the meal because Sharice can burn. Bring
Okay,
the meal, baby. I'm hosting dinner, but you're cooking.
I know that's right.
E Bowser, love her down. Love, love, love her down.
Ooh,
I love her down. I have a good time. Every time we talk, we just be giggling. Like we've been friends since the fifth grade. Um, A. Lewis.
oh yeah,
What's wrong with
she's
you,
another
lady?
one. I met her. Oh, I love
Sweetie pie. But
Sweetie.
something's wrong with you. But we think alike. Octavia Grant.
Oh,
I need her at this dinner. I need her there because I need her to bring in the warpness. Not. I'm just talking about the storytelling because her storytelling is asinine, but I love it. Her pen is wicked. And then
mm-hmm.
my last one is Jacques J.
Oh yes,
That's who's coming to dinner. That's who I'm hosting. I'm gonna have beverages, adult beverages. I'm going to have good desserts, but I'm gonna ask Sharice to cook the meal because baby girl can burn.
I'm gonna have to go to Cherie's house.
Yeah, baby girl can burn. And she showed me one more thing of macaroni and cheese or Parmesan chicken. I promise you, I'm just going to fly to Boston. And my adult beverages are very good because I am licensed. I am a professional.
I
I
love
will
it.
bring I will make the beverages.
I love it.
Um, Answer this question. Blank is life, or fill in the blank. Blank is life.
Reading is life
Okay,
for me. Reading is life every day.
got to. Can't live without it.
Yeah.
I had another question for you, and it escapes me. Do you have okay? Question: do you have to have visuals when you're reading?
No.
Because it helps me sometimes. Because I be like swooning.
Let me tell you something about visuals. They will never. There's only been one person to come up with a visual of a man that is as close to who I have in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and he will never not look like that. And that's L. Kasem for Damian Montana. The guy with the locks that she has a visual for, it's the only one. Everybody else, I have my own vision in my head. You can never compare them to who I have in my head. They'll never be good enough. But that man, baby, she did that.
Okay. What is something that you love but everybody hates?
Secret babies. Everybody hates the secret baby, but I love it. I love it. Because why is she pregnant and not telling nobody, man? I love it.
Mine is probably arranged marriages.
I love me an arranged marriage.
But a lot of people hate arranged marriages.
Wow.
I don't know why. That's their thing. That's their problem, not mine. I don't mind an arranged marriage.
I don't either. I love it. Listen, Asia Monique kicked off a mafia series with one, and I was like, yes.
I got it. It's in the other room. I got that series. The one with the they're Irish. I think are they Irish or are
No,
they
they're black.
something?
They're black. Not O'Fanigan.
Yeah,
Not
I'm talking about them.
not them. but yeah, the Sinful series, the
Yes,
Mafia.
I got that one.
I got that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I, I, I hear a lot of people that don't like arranged marriages. Like, why they got to do that? Girl, I love it. I love it. I don't mind the secret baby. I don't mind too much. Only thing that I don't like is when you involve children in the foolishness.
Yes,
Don't do the babies that way. We
I
don't have
can
to read about the babies.
I can agree. There is a book by Tay Monet with a set of twins, and there's a secret baby. I think. I think it's no. That's not a secret baby. That's not a secret baby. It's an oops baby.
That's different.
That's different. My bad.
How do you disconnect from the world when it's just you? What is your favorite thing to do when you need to disconnect, be one with self, and have a moment?
So I take and I burn candles throughout my whole house. Every room has a different scent so that I walk in with a different feeling. My bedroom is the softest. I created a space with nothing but flowers. They're all false flowers because I'm not buying flowers every week. I'm not. I'm sorry. And I have a perfume collection. I get into the mindset after I take a shower or a hot bath or something like that. I go through the self care routine of that. Then I get my perfume and I find the scent that matches the characters that I love to read. And then I dive into a book. That's how I disconnect. I take scents that's why I have scents, outfits, and stories because I like to immerse myself into the character. What does this character smell like? What type of vibe is this character giving off? And so I use perfumes to disconnect from the outside of the world because I want to smell what they smell. And one thing about perfumes is they leave a lasting effect that unlocks memories. Like that's why when people can smell something so randomly, I'm like, oh, that just took me back to my childhood. I want scents to take me back to a book and disconnect me from the rest of the world.
And see, for me, it used to be cooking, but when the stress gets me,
Mhm.
I'll just pull out my phone. I don't care where I'm at. I'll pull out my phone. If the party is not popping, I'm in a corner on my phone reading.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like things are too stressful, I just need to just disappear for a while. I'm hopping into somebody else's life. And I can come back to my life and figure it out. I I feel like that is the stress reliever for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even I don't care how toxic the book is. It's not my life.
It's
It's
not.
their life. So let me dive in instead of watching TV because I don't watch much TV anymore. I can't tell you what the newest Christmas movies are. I probably did 3 Christmas movies, but I'm gonna catch up tomorrow. Um, I will dive into somebody else's story. That is my stress reliever. So
Yes.
for me to disconnect, for you not to get on my nerves,
Mm-hmm.
for I will D and D my phone. I will call my dad and be like, "Hey, Dad," because he's gonna call me anyway. If I don't answer, he will show up at my door at 81 and acting like I'm 5. I'm not, sir. I just need a minute. So I will tell him, say, "Hey, Dad, I'm off. My phone is off for a couple of hours. I'm gonna need you to give me that." Okay, well, that's all I want you to tell me is just tell me what you're doing. Okay, God. Thank you, love. So, um, that's how I disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I disconnect. I don't want to talk on the phone. I
No.
don't want to watch TV. I might put on some soft music, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an old school head, so anything, the dramatics or enchantment or Kim, and it's softly playing, and my house is clean, and and it's warm and inviting. That is my safe space. My son, they know not to talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't smell me. Take your dogs with you. I don't want to be bothered. I just need these few hours to myself.
I love
I
that.
mean, but it has to be in succession. I can't be like right now. My office is in disarray because I got these books on the floor and it's wearing the shit out of me. So I got to bring this shelf in here and put these books up and reorganize this shelf, and that's my project today, so that my office feel like my safe place. That's me. And I will sit on this back couch here and cross my legs as far as I can cross them, and maybe give me something to drink, a glass of wine or something, and get a book
I
and
love
just
that.
be here giggling
Rubbing your feet together and just peek in.
and swooning,
Yes.
and that's that. And then question: how do you deal with your people who feel like, oh, you're too immersed in a book? Oh, why you don't do nothing else? That that get on my nerves. But how do you deal with people who are not of the bookish community and they so worried about what you're reading?
So I used to have that. Like, I honestly just, I think with school, it made it a lot easier to kind of like disconnect. Cause I told everybody, I was like, look, I'm about to finish. I ain't going out. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't going nowhere. And it made it easier. And then I realized like people were going out a lot. And I was like, and I don't smoke. I don't drink. I read books. I shop. That's my addiction. And I I've come to the conclusion that some spaces ain't meant for me. Some spaces ain't meant for me. Like I have been building community with people who actually love to read. And so I realized like my friends who don't want to read or who are not deep into it, I got to find other stuff for us to do. Like I like brunch. I like to get dressed up and go places. I don't like to go out at night because I'm in my bed with my book. I'm in my nook with my book. So that's what I am doing. But I don't like being out late. That's that time of my life is over with. I'm older now. I don't have time. I got small kids. I got stuff to lose and ain't nothing popping off in the middle of the night that I'm gonna be involved in. But I'll do brunch. I'll go listen to live music with them. I'll go do painting classes and stuff with them, like being creative, because that's the other thing that I love to do, just to be creative. But for the most part, I just be like, y'all got it. You ain't gonna catch me out there shit face drunk or just going crazy like years ago when I was young and could do all that. I I now I just tell them, look, holla at me when y'all want to do brunch. You ain't gotta talk about books because I know me and my friends in these books, we gonna be good.
I you know, I know the holidays are coming up.
Mhm.
I get it. Yeah, I never want to come outside anymore. Maybe because I'm changing.
Yes.
Maybe because I'm evolving. Maybe because I just don't want to.
Hello.
It's nothing against you.
Right.
It's nothing against the said person who wants to go outside. And I do the family events, I do all the things. But sometimes that's not where my mindset is. It's
Right.
just not. I don't care to watch you get shit faced drunk. Now, good. I like to drink. I have a good time with a cocktail.
Mhm. But you got
That's
your
me. That's what I like to do. But not every day.
right.
I don't have to be at every holiday. I like to be at home. I like to be where it's safe
Yes.
until it's no longer safe.
I like to be in a place where I spend most of my money, which is this place
You can
right here.
preach a word.
I'm
Preach
like,
your word.
if I got a mortgage, if I got a mortgage where I gotta pay 30 years of it, you best believe I'm gonna spend some months in this house. We done created a nice little backyard space. That's my other place. My little safe space. We got a gazebo that we built this year with furniture. And I've got fans out there from when it gets hot during Texas heat. And I just sit my little self out there with my book. And I be enjoying myself. My husband will get on the grill. I will eat outside. I will have my own little picnic and call it a day. I
But
love
that's a good time.
it's a
And
good
just
time.
because it's not a good time with you doesn't mean I'm not having a good time.
One thing I learned very young is spending time with myself and learning to love myself. Because there's going to come a time when my children are going to get older and because there's going to come a time when my children are going to get older and move on their own. There's going to be a time where my husband, if God forbid we don't break up or anything like that, but there's going to be times when he just wants to be off by himself. My husband's a gamer. I don't like video games. I don't want to be in your space all day long. He don't want to be in my space all day long. Or there may be coming a time where one of us passes away and we're going to have to learn how to live without one another. I want to be able to enjoy me for me. And that means loving the things that I love. And reading is one of them. So I'm like, I don't have to be in a loud room. I don't like loud noises anymore because outside of my music in my car, because I can temper that. But outside of that, I don't like going places where people are just pissy drunk all day long, all night long, dancing to loud music. I'd be like, girl, I'm ready to go to sleep. I need a nap. I value my rest. I'm up
But
at
I can go outside now. I think the Storm and whoever was in Shannon's live last night, or a good girl Reeves, whoever was in her live last night, they know that I have an alternate personality. And Shackwalandra will make an appearance, and Shackwalandra is a good time. So just know,
listen.
child, listen, look. Shaki is a good time. Absolutely a good time.
I'm a good.
And we'll turn it on and get off the plane as Shakwalacha and return as Nicole.
I love it. I love it.
But
I have
again,
my moments. As long as I ain't going to jail, I will be fine. I will be fine. Because I got stuff to lose. Man. I got stuff to lose. I done got old. But what
yes,
I will not do, what I will do, I like day parties. I like day parties.
me too.
Because I'm in bed by 8:30.
Me too.
I'm in
Let
bed.
that party start at 2.
Hello?
In there.
Listen, I can do a little chair dance.
In there. I'm struggling. Listen, in there.
Listen.
At nighttime, I can't do 24 hours anymore. My body ain't set up that way.
I can't, baby. When the weather changed, these knees hurt. I just want people to know.
And I gotta take a nap if I'm going out.
Listen, 45 minutes before we go out. I need my rest before we go out.
I'm screaming. Okay, I got something for you. So we're gonna remove this,
Okay.
and we're gonna replace that with this
Okay. Hallelujah.
because your content sends me, ma'am. It sends me. It sends me, especially if I'd have read the book. Ma'am, hold on. Church mother's coming out. Hold on. Ma'am, it sends me.
What I did?
Girl, the commentary, when you crack up and you be like, for real, the biggest is coming? Girl, it be the facial expressions for me. You get this church hat. I don't give content creator church hats, but you get one today. When I put on that church hat, that means I love it.
Listen, baby. Listen. Let me just tell you. Let me tell you where that come from. I can't remember who was the first book I started reading and just doing reactions from, because I tried to do book reviews and I couldn't remember. I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta read these books and record as I go, because baby, pregnancy brain and messed me all the way up. And it's 4 years postpartum and I still ain't got right. I just need y'all to know that it was around the time I read Law. I read Law by Gray Huffington. And I was just like, I couldn't get it. He can't get right. He can't get right. And I was in one of them book groups talking about it. But I forgot which book it was by Gray Huffington. No, it had to be Milo. It had to be Milo. My hair was shifting throughout that entire video because he was taking me through it. He took me through it. And Gray was like, your hair, baby, your hair. She was in the comments saying, your hair is taking me through it. And I was like, this is it. This is it for me. Because if the characters be talking to y'all gonna have me talking back to these characters. And I'm gonna feel it, and y'all gonna see what I be going through as I be reading these books. But ever since I read Milo, and I did that book reaction, and Gray was like, "Yo, hair, baby." Like I had clip-ins, and the clip-ins was coming out. That's how bad. That's how much it was, baby. I was just all the way into it. When I get
Girl,
into a book, I get into a book, and I don't ever want to leave.
girl, it be the reaction video for me.
Wait,
It
somebody
do.
said there was one of my recent ones when my hair changed throughout the entire.
Oh yeah, you had taken out braids, girl. The hair was
Oh,
standing everywhere, baby. Baby, I said, she said, you done pulled out my edges, ma'am.
listen, don't have me with a hairstyle. I change hairstyles on a regular basis. This is why I can't pay nobody to do my hair. I cut my own hair, I style my own hair, I do it all. I do all my treatments and everything. But baby, listen, it's only a few authors that will take me through it where I will start one way and end up another. It's only a few. And I think Blossom Reigns with Hood Logic did it for me this last time where I started off with braids and then ended up cutting my hair. I'm just saying.
That church hat is for you, cause
Okay.
baby, when you was reading Product of the Streets,
Oh, baby, listen.
Red,
No, no. That's a whole other situation. That's a whole other situation. That lady took me through it. She took me through it. Especially by book four. Baby, I had to come out of my drafts and make videos about the video that I was talking about. I had to literally make a video about the video before the video dropped. I mm,
when you was reading Aubrey J's catalog,
another one, another one. Genesis ain't got no sense.
when I tell you, you be sending me sliding down walls, laughing at the foolishness that come out your mouth. And it don't be you, it's your reaction to the video of what they talking about. I was like, I gotta read that. Oh, I read that. I know where she's at.
Yes, yes. I've always been leery of giving away the book when doing book reviews. That's why I don't do typical book reviews. I only do my reactions. I only do my reactions because I'm like, I don't want to give away this book. Writing a review is not my ministry, but I'm gonna try next year. If authors can get what it is that they need, I'm gonna try. But baby, y'all gonna get these reactions, these bookish thoughts, Y'all gonna get them.
On the ground every time. On the ground. Every time I say, oh Lord, here she come with these bookish thoughts. Let me see what she done read now.
And listen,
And you don't be giving away the book. It just be like, the back door. What? I mean, it just be the simplest thing. But what I tell you, then when you get to giggling, I was like, her laugh is infectious. I got to read this book.
you have to like, cause I can't go through it by myself. I can't go through it by myself. I don't want to.
Child.
I'm gonna be doing some good content next year. I'm working on some planning stuff, but my bookish thoughts ain't going nowhere. My bookish thoughts is to my core. Ever since Milo with Gray Huffington, I can tell you. As soon as that lady said your hair just changed 3 different times during this video, I was done. I was like, this is it. This is a hit. Y'all gonna keep getting these reactions because, baby,
Did you find your planner?
no, I bought another one. I bought another one. As if I needed more.
But did you lose too much?
No, a lot of it was its early stages of what I wanted um, that I no longer want. So I don't know if you remember, I said I wanted to start an author services business. And right before I went into class, my last class, I was like, I don't feel right charging people for services if I haven't done enough research for it. So I put it on pause. because some of these authors, I know they're giving their all, and I'm like, I don't feel right charging my worth just yet. I don't feel right because I haven't done the research for it yet. I haven't done the research that I wanted to. Hey, Em. And I feel like when I get to the level of where I can consistently bring about the engagement, especially on Instagram since TikTok is going away, if I can build on Instagram and get these authors the visibility that they need using my platform, then I'll have a year of content of doing that, and I've found my rhythm to where I'm like, yes, let's go to the next level. Now, there are some authors who know my vision for what I want to do. It's going to be costly, but I'm thinking somewhere in the realm of James Patterson rollouts. You notice how James Patterson will roll out a commercial for one of his books in the middle of the night, and it gets people wanting to buy it. That's the type of content I want for the authors that I read. If I decide to do author services again, I want these authors' books on my page when I'm promoting them to feel like when I release this promotional service for these authors, somebody gonna go buy these books in droves. I want that. I want real high quality work for me to charge people. I don't half-ass nothing. And I felt like if I started charging authors, I would be half-assing it, and I can't give you my all. And I didn't think that was fair. So I decided to take a step back from my author services for right now and just spend some time doing research.
Well, as you are rolling out stuff, I think I'm going to roll out something as well. And I think that is cool. And I'm not going to talk about it too much on here because I'm still researching and creating a platform for it. But I want to create like an association of sorts. And I'm going to just leave it like that. But I want to create a safe space for independent authors, and then I want a tier system for it, because it will be subscription based, but it will be for readers. They'll have their part, and then the authors will have their part, and it will be tiered, and that will determine what information that you get. And so the people who are being involved in this, I would like for them to be paid for their said services. So I'm still fleshing it out. I'm going to run it past. I'm going to invite 50 people. So it would be authors, content creators, podcasters, into a Zoom, and it will be an NDA.
Okay.
Because it needs to be one. And I want to be able to provide this service at this one said place, and hopefully it will pan out. But I want input because it does not affect me. It affects them. Not just me, but affects them more so than me. And then if that's something that they're interested in, then I'm going to pursue it. But it's an association of sorts. I was looking into figuring out how to start a union, because I feel like it's needed, but I don't know how to do said union. So I'm still researching that too. But if anybody has expertise in that, then tell me, or share with me, or start it, or whatever. This is not something that will be beneficial to me, but I feel like, especially Black independent authors, they're so underserved.
Absolutely. That's why I really want to focus in on the indie space. I'm not opposed to reading traditional, and I'm proud of any indie author who has become a hybrid in the traditional space as well. It's just that indie authors do it for me.
Yeah.
Do it for me. And I feel like I want to use my platform to do it for them as well.
Exactly.
I really want to build in this space. Now that I'm letting go of school, I am finished. I am definitely pushing to become a real influencer in the book space. I really want to be an influencer in this space. I've done influencing in the political space for a while, so I kind of get the influencer aspect of it, but I really want to do my due diligence in the bookish space where I can elevate Black indie authors. I really want to do this because it's become a passion for me because of all the things we've talked about already. My experiences with books, my love of reading, um, my safe space.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like I want to take this book influencing thing. I want to get brand deals where I can connect and make money from different brands, but also lead that into connecting with Black indie authors so that they can be a part of that deal too. So
Yeah.
if you see product placements, you see that book, you go to that author. That brand is now aware of that author. I want there to be a full circle thing because I really do believe that if they can't go, I can't come. I cannot do this without the authors who I love so dearly.
See, that's the point of pop your shit. That is the very point of popping your shit. Because guess what? It's readers, it's content creators, it's influencers
Mm-hmm.
who out there trying to help make this community stronger, better, and I see it coming. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Last question. Where do you see Lady Kreyol in 5 years?
Ooh, wow, wow. She's barely 1 year. Um, as a website and all this other stuff. She started off as a Facebook test question for Bridgerton, and it was, "What is your favorite food?" And I put Creole, and it identified me as Lady Creole. That's where that comes from. Um, but to see myself in 5 years, it would be the book influencer who has amplified Black indie authors to a space where Black indie authors are now competing with the traditional authors for deals, for opportunities. Like I have become a household name for where Black indie authors feel safe to promote their books, to promote their arts, and for publishers to take notice of these indie authors and giving them the opportunities that they deserve because of the work that they put in. Like they see, they use my platform as a form of visibility for this Black indie author space through the book influencer space and bringing them along. I really do feel like in 5 years, I want my platform to be a place where Black indie authors go and say, hey, I want her to read my book, and a publisher says, I want to pick up that book and put it on the shelves in Barnes and Noble and Target and Walmart. I want people to come to my platform and be the connection.
Ma'am, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing on both platforms. I get the tiredness of colorful story because I'm very tired of things on Black people think, Black folks think. But I am very proud of you of all of your accomplishments, and you make it look so easy. I know it's not, but you make it look seamless, easy, and thank you for being a great representation for this community. Because guess what? It's needed. It's warranted,
Yes.
and it's just you're deserving of all the accolades that you get. So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for coming on Pop Your Shit. I
I love
appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love what you're doing. I will definitely be back here on Monday in the comment section, popping my shit. I just want you to know because Miss Blossom right
Blossom,
calls me
you
one.
better be ready. Blossom better be ready. She not in it. She not. I didn't see her on here today, but Blossom, you better be ready. So let's make sure that you're liking, following. Oh, tell everybody where they can find you. What platforms are
I
you
am
on?
Lady Creole everywhere. LadyCreyol.com, Instagram, TikTok for now, as long as we'll have TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Lemonade, Blue Sky, your mom and them, all of that. I'm Lady Creyol everywhere.
Okay. Follow me on all the platforms, Lemonade, Fanbase, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook. I am booked and busy. All one word. Busy is Bizzie. And on YouTube. Lady Creole's on YouTube too. Make sure you're following her on YouTube because her content is good. Make sure that you like the subscription. This will be on YouTube tomorrow. It will be in probably 2 parts. And make sure you click the subscription, the reminder button so you'll know when I'm posting. It was something else I wanted to say. And I can't remember because, old folks is old folking. I'm old folking right now. Tomorrow we have Octavia Grant. She will, Jesus. So Octavia
gonna be here.
Yeah, she'll be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you. She'll be on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Masterpiece. So I have 2 interviews tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. Just know that through this next 2 weeks, I'm on your timeline. I'm coming with some heavy hitters. Next week we have, on Monday we have Blossom Rains. Don't forget that. She will be on 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Next week we have the creator of the book club, Books We Love to Discuss. And then Saturday she's at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Y'all, these Pacific and the Eastern is wearing me out. So I'm just going to say Eastern Time. So she's on 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, we have Jacquel J Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. And then next Sunday, we have Denise Essex. She will be on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to end out the year with Jatoria C. And she will be on the 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you guys come and join me. Thank you, Lady Creyol, for everything. I will be in your comments, kikiing and laughing. If you create a live, I will be in the comments. Just, because I'm in.
That's on my menu. That's on my menu.
So, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy reading.
Bye, y'all.